episode of Financial Freeway. My name is David J. Atwood. I'm the man rocking the Ray-Bans. Today, it is Wednesday, and this has got to be like the 10th time I've been trying to make a video. Part of the process that I've been going through over the last over a year has been to create content every day, to try to create content every day. That was always my goal. And I have been creating content, not every day, but definitely every day I'm going to work. It started every day, and then, you know, even when I was on vacation in Croatia, as you go back and look at the older videos, I was making content. And then I thought, you know what, I'm just going to do content while I'm commuting to work, because my days get so crazy. I wanted to kind of focus it all, and this gives me the time that I can actually utilize the ability. There you go. Where's all the crazy people? There he is. There's a crazy person. Oh, there's another crazy person. Oh, looks like, yep. We used to have this thing called, just up the road, we have this thing, it's Souk, and Souk's on a harbor, and it's called, the name of the harbor is Souk Basin. So if we get a little bit late leaving the house like I am today, we always like to say the Souk Basin is emptying out. It's all people from Souk coming into work. Anyways, the point is, I was trying to make the content every day. I decided to scale it back to just doing the commuting, because that's the time I have a little bit extra free time. So that being said, I've been pretty consistent. And when I started making content every day or every commute, I didn't trust it. I didn't trust that it would actually change my life or have any effect on it. But there was a guy in one of the books I read who said, when you're out there, you got to start making content every day. So I trusted in the process. I may not be doing it right yet, but I trusted in the process so I could become, so I can get further down. Because I still want to increase my life. I want to increase my success in life. So that means I have to change things. I have to change what I'm doing. Even if I don't trust it, even if I don't believe it will actually work, sometimes I have to have a little faith, trust in the process, because I have to, if I have to change where I'm at, I have to change the actions and my thought process. So this is why I started doing the content on a daily basis. Now, back to why you haven't seen me in the last couple of weeks. I've been recording every day. And every day when I get to work, because I can't see if the camera's working right now because I'm using the back camera, because it's a much better camera on the phone. And I can't see what my content looks like until I get to work. And when I get to work, I shut the phone off, I turn it around, and for the last week and a half, it's been saying my phone was full, the storage was full. So I go through my photos, I transfer them to my computer, and it's still saying your phone is full. And finally yesterday I realized I was going through and I couldn't understand why it was saying my phone storage was full. Yesterday I realized, well, that's because a couple of weeks ago I put together some videos, because I was going to be working alone. So I downloaded some movies onto my phone, and I totally forgot that they were there. So yeah, that's why we haven't had a video in a while. So, and I think when you're talking about success or abundance or anything like that, I think it's important to understand you have to humble yourself to the process. And one part of there's an old saying an old Japanese saying I heard many years ago. I was very much in the Japanese culture when I was going through my martial arts training, and there was this one saying, and it was, in order to be first, you must make yourself last. And I always thought, oh, well then, you know, if you're on in a line, if you let someone go first, it's how they do things. it was very, very I didn't understand it at the time, but now as I'm older, I understand what the concept means, what it's all about. What they're saying is, in order for you to move ahead in life, you're going to have to humble yourself and realize that you don't know everything. If you go through life going, no, that'll never work, I won't do it, no, that's stupid, I know a guy who did that once and it didn't work, it didn't do anything for him. If you're going to go through life like that, you're going to stay exactly where you are forever. You're going to work at your crappy job. You're going to hate it. You're going to hate the hours. You're going to complain about it all the time. And all you're going to do is hope that one day you'll get the promotion so you become the boss that everybody hates and everyone's going to call you a suck up. That's what your life's going to be. You will not ever humble yourself enough to be in a position where you can actually learn and grow. It is really important in your journey to success to humble yourself, to realize that you don't understand everything. And if you are not sitting right now in a private jet, sipping a mimosa, listening to beautiful music and having private stewardesses, private flight attendants serve you, if you're not if you're not there right now, then you need to humble yourself. If you're not living the life that you truly want to live, and not that lying for yourself and saying, no, I'm so happy, I can't believe how happy I am, the peace in that's crap, and we all know it. We all tell that to ourselves, and so we can give ourselves permission not to try harder, not to do more. If you aren't living the life you want to live right now, you have to humble yourself. You have to listen to other people. Even if they're younger, even if they're not as popular as you want them to be, even if they're ugly, you got to listen to them. You have to humble yourself. I knew a man, and his name is Ryan. And I hope it still is Ryan, because Ryan has seemed to have disappeared off the face of the earth. And I bumped into an old friend who asked, hey, how is Ryan doing? And I didn't know, because I had to stop being around him. I had to stop hanging around him because I felt his energy was not working in congruence with where I wanted my life to go. So I remember we'd be out and we'd be talking, and I'd say, hey, here's what you need to do to make your life better. And he's like, no, Dave, I know what I'm doing. I got this under control. And then I'd see him make these horrible mistakes. Horrible, devastating mistakes with his relationships, with his job, with his money, everything. And I would say, hey, maybe try this time not to date your coworkers, because that always seems to end up bad. No, it's different this time. Or I'd say maybe don't try to tell your boss how to run things. No, it's different this time. And he would constantly make his way up to middle management really quickly in every company he worked with. And then he would be fired. And then he'd date one of his subordinates, one of his employees that he's managing. And then that would turn into maybe even a police issue. It was constant struggle with him. And then he was a bartender, or I should say bartender. He would work in restaurants, he'd manage restaurants, he'd bartend, he'd do things like that. He made good money as a bartender. He was a really successful bartender. But he had no pension, no savings, no investments at all, nothing. All the money he had every day, every week, every month was in his pocket, because he got tipped out, he got paid cash, he worked for cash for the longest time. It was just constant. He was $600 away from being completely and utterly broke. He just continued to make bad choices, and no matter what I tried to say to him, and I just, every so often I'd say, look at my life and look at your life. That's all it has to take. Look, you may not want exactly the life I have. But I do have, in my life, I do have security. I do have a retirement plan. And I mean plan because I'm not an RSP, but an actual plan. Like I have a map of what my retirement look like. And I'm set. I could stop working any day and I'd be okay. And it didn't matter to him. And everything I did was what he said he could do better. And he was always doing so much worse. He never humbled himself. He never would sit there and say, you know, maybe Dave's right. And here's another thing, even if you don't mean it, there's many times where people are talking to me and I will look at them straight in the eye and go, really? Because I'm not feigning interest, that's the wrong thing, because I'm always interested in what people have to say. But when I began, I started using that word all the time. And it's an old thing from when I was listening to Tom Likas. He'd always go, really? And I just loved it. So I'll always do that. When people are talking, they'll start talking and tell me something really important to them. And I will lean in and I will genuinely, now it's genuine. Now I actually do like it because I like everybody's story. And if someone's telling me how they became successful, I am definitely listening to it. And if someone's telling me about an exciting weekend they had, I am definitely listening to that story too. But the point is that I never stop and go, nope, don't want to hear it. Or turn on, Dr. Professor Dave, where I'm giving advice that people aren't asking for. Sometimes that comes out. Sometimes I do. Sometimes the unsolicited advice does come out. So I understand that sometimes I do give too much advice. Ergo, a YouTube podcast that I put on every day. So with life in general, when it comes to yourself and your own personal success, you can't go around thinking that you know everything. You can't go around telling everyone you don't want to listen to their advice. You don't want to listen to someone. Again, listen. You don't want to listen to the fat guy at the gym, right? You want to listen to the guy who's actually in shape and got the body you want. That's the guy you want to listen to because he knows what he's talking about when it comes to working out. You don't listen to the old fat guy with the pencil stick legs. You listen to someone who's actually gone to your place. But humbling yourself is really important. Really important to your growth because it opens you up to learning. If you are closed off and you're telling everyone, no, I know what I'm doing, that'll never work. No, if you don't trust in the process, someone else has laid out before you. And sometimes these people are maybe not practicing what they preach. They're not practicing what they preach, but they have learned it and they understand it. And hopefully they'd be humble enough to go, you know what, I don't do everything I talk about, but I do have a good head on my shoulders with regards to business or relationships or whatever the case is. If your cup is full, you can't take any more. So try to always be an empty cup. Finally found the right mug. The mug that fits perfectly in my little cup holder. It's not my favorite mug, but it's definitely a great commuting mug because as you all know, I like the ceramic and it fits right there. I love it. So, another beautiful sunrise here. So, in conclusion, if some boomer is talking about money or jobs or relationships or your path to success, take the time to listen to them. Number one, you don't know everything. If you're not living the life you want, if you're not living the life you truly, truly are fantasizing about, then you're not where you want to be. Means you need to get some more information and change some things. If that's number one. Number two, if they're giving advice, and just be nice and kind to somebody who's giving you advice, and just polite. And it goes a long way to building and forging great relationships with new people. people enjoy being listened to. Number 3, and this one's kind of a big one. In the Bible, there's a phrase that says, I think it's one of the commandments. It says, honor thy mother and father so that your days may be long on earth. And I always wondered about that. Like, what does that mean? And dare I say, I think it's a misinterpretation of the actual phrase. Because I think the phrase is, listen to old people. Listen to the people who went before you and made mistakes and hurt themselves and lost. Listen to what they say, because they may not know everything. Because, you know, sometimes old people get stuck in their ways and things change. But maybe they do understand. If someone's got an extra 20 or 30 years on your life here, they've had 20 or 30 years to make mistakes. And you should listen to them, because if they've made the mistakes, and you can learn from it, you don't have to make those same mistakes again. You can actually get further ahead. That's what I believe that phrase is. It's like, learn from the mistakes of the people that went before you. Because if somebody walked a path and said, oh, watch out around the corner because there's a big pit of poisonous vipers, and you were like, yeah, screw you, boomer, you don't know what you're talking about. You know what? It would behoove you to listen to someone who walked the path before you. And that's in every aspect of life. So I would, is that an empty spot? Is that an empty spot, Tom? Oh my Lord, that's a rock star parking. Love it. Oh, look at that. Oh yeah. If someone's gone, it would behoove you to listen to them and to actually take their advice, because they may actually have something of value. And this is the great thing about experience. This is why we go to school. This is why we do apprenticeships. This is why you guys listen to my my podcast every day, because I have gone this path, and I may not be the greatest mind of success training in the world, but I have learned some things, and I've if everyone lived the life I lived, I'd be an incredibly happy man. So it would benefit you to listen to your elders. So if someone's giving you advice, humble yourself, listen to it, digest it, marinate on it, think about it. And if it resonates with you after all that, then I would say, listen to it and embrace it and make it part of your life. I'm not saying everybody has the answer for you, but I am saying that it's important to at least listen and be polite and kind and make someone feel important. How hard is that, to sit there and go, thank you for the advice? Humble yourself. Humble yourself. Put yourself last so you can become first. Anyways, folks, thanks. Beautiful sunrise out here this morning. Really, really nice. I want to say thank you so much for watching me. If you're watching me on YouTube, make sure you hit the thumbs up. And check out financialfreeway23.ca if you have not. That's where all the good information is. And of course, as I always say, spread the good word, spread the news, because we want everyone in the world to understand that they have an inalienable right to live a life of success and abundance wherever you are in this gorgeous world today.